Now we are going to celebrate I2C protocol, understanding I2C protocol by discussing the classroom environment. When a faculty member enters the classroom and interested to discuss with a particular student in a classroom, what he will do, faculty will call the roll number. If the called student is in the class, how the student will respond? Say for example, if the roll number 24 is being called, and how the roll number 24 will respond? Roll number 24 will respond by, will stand up and acknowledge that, okay, I am roll number 24, I am available, I am Kirtana, something like that we can say. Very good. So what about others? All others will hear the same roll number 24, which is called by the faculty, and they know their individual roll numbers, and they compare the called roll number with their numbers. Because their number is not matched, hence they did not acknowledge the master. Only the called roll number will acknowledge. Now both the faculty and the roll number 24 will communicate. That is the idea here. So what do you understand from this discussion? If there are more than two students, it is called as networking, which is very important. In a network, every individual must have their identification number or address, node ID or the device ID for communication. In a network, if we need to communicate, we have to call the device address first, and then after getting the acknowledgement from the called device, we should start communicating with that device, which is very important. If the call device did not respond, means once again we have to call and check. If still there is no response, we should understand that the called device is not in the network, which is very important. If no acknowledgement, it should stop communication. So with this understanding, we are going to one protocol called I2C protocol, which is onboard communication protocol. So what is I2C? I2C is inter-integrated circuit. If you want to expand it correctly, integrating integrated circuit. Several integrated circuits are interconnected together through I2C logic. In short, we call it as I2C. It is a two-wire networking serial communication protocol. But what are the two wires? We are very eager to know what are those two wires. One wire is called serial data, another wire is called a serial clock. Okay, in short, SDA and SCL. So the two wires, where one wire is the clock with only one data wire. With only one data wire, how to start the communication with one wire, how to stop the communication with one wire in the network, how to call the device address with one wire, and how, if the call device on the network, how it will acknowledge the calling device, and how the calling device recognizes the acknowledgement, and how the called device will understand the calling device as acknowledged, and if memory, how to send the memory address, and if memory, how to send the data, how to notify that I am going to write into the data, or whether I am going to read or whether I am going to write, etc. And so let us see how to do one by one in a more beautiful way. Okay, so the I2C, how many devices can be connected? So maximum we can connect 127 devices. Okay, so we can connect 127 devices. To address 127 devices, how many bits we are needed? So 2 power x equal to 127. So 2 power 7 equal to 127. So 7 bits. So I2C protocol has 7-bit addressing. Is it a master-slave communication protocol? Yes. And how to identify it is reading or writing? If it is going to read, if it is going to write, we need 1 bit, right? If that bit is 0, means we can say it is writing. If that bit is 1, means we can say it is reading. So because there are 7 address bits, the 8th bit we can use it for read or write. That's very interesting. How to identify the acknowledgement from the slave? Okay, through 7-bit, and the 8th bit is through read or write. We are calling the called device. And how to identify the called devices in the network? We can very easily identify the called devices in the network by 9th clock pulse through 9th bit or 9th clock pulse, something that we can say. And let us discuss the power of I2C logic using one memory with an example, electrically erasable program read-only memory IC, which is 24304, which supports I2C protocol. Every number has its own significance. 2 means read-only memory, 4 means electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, and 04 means 4 kilobits, meaning 512 bytes. 4 kilobits by 8 equal to 512 bytes. 2-wire serial EEPROM. Whenever there is a 2-wire, very easily you can identify this is I2C protocol. How to identify this is I2C protocol? We can very well identify by looking at the pin diagram. If you look at the pin diagram here, You look at the fifth pin. Fifth pin is serial data, and you can see the sixth pin, which is serial clock. How to start the communication? So the starting can be understood by looking at this diagram. When the serial clock line is 1, by the time if the serial data line goes from 1 to 0, then it is start condition. What is stop? By having the clock pin as 1 and making the data line from 0 to 1, then this justifies it is stop condition. So the address here is 1010.000. So it is a 7-bit address. The 8-bit is read or write. When it is 0 means it is write. When it is 1 means it is read. So this is what the device address format with respect to 24604 electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. This is the byte write frame format. I'll show you. This is the start bit. Start bit means what? SCL equal to 1, SDA goes from 1 to 0. This is start bit. Then just now we have seen, right? 1010. And assuming that these 3 bits are 0. So 7-bit address. So this is time axis. X-axis is time axis. Y-axis is logic 1 or logic 0. So MSB first and LSB next. So MSB of I2C address is 101. So 1010. 000, and this is the 7-bit LSB. So by sending this during, let us say, after next to start bit, let us say this is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. So at the 7th time interval, 7 bits will be broadcasted in the bus topology, and all the devices like SAR is calling roll number 24, all the call device will listen to it, and if there is roll number 24 in the classroom, roll number 24 will acknowledge during the 9th pulse. How it will acknowledge during the 9th pulse? By making the SDA line as 0. The called device will acknowledge the transmitter, something like this. This we need to understand. Okay. So now I'll show you the acknowledgement waveform, which is very interesting. During the 9th clock pulse, if the serial data line is pulled low by the called device, then we can say the called device is there in the network, because master and slave are connected to the common bus SDA and SEL. So during the 9th clock pulse, the master will wait for logic 0 in the SDA line. So when there is a 0 during the 9th clock pulse, the master will understand the called device is there in the network. If there is no 0 means, we can say that called device is not in the network. Master will understand called device is not in the network. So it is the responsibility of the called device. Say for example, it is a responsibility of that roll number 24 to pull down the SDA line during the 9th clock pulse. So who will give the clock pulse? Master will give the clock pulse. With which pin? Through SEL pin. Okay. So this is how it works. 7-bit address and the 8th read-write bit will get transmitted. That means it will get broadcasted to all the nodes in the network. All the nodes will listen to it. Okay. Start bit. Oh, master has started the communication. Okay, this is MSB, first clock pulse, and looking at the data, this is first bit, MSB bit. Like that, every device will receive the bits and then it will keep it inside the shift register. And if all the 8 bits has come, all the device will check with their ID, and if they are no match, it will leave it as it is. When matches means, immediately during the 9th clock pulse, it will pull down the SDA line. By looking at the logic 0 in the SDA line, the master will understand that the called device is there in the network. So the master will continue discussing with that called device. That is the one you need to understand with respect to I2C. So if you want to change the bit number bit 1 to bit 0 or bit 0 to bit 1 in the serial data line with respect to I2C logic, you have to make the clock pulses 0 and then do any changes 1 to 0 or 0 to 1, and then if you have to make the clock pulses 1. So when the clock is 1 means we assume the data is stable. Okay, so as shown here very clearly, by making the SCL as 0, we have to change the bits. When SCL becomes 1 means the data in the SDA pin is stable. So during the first clock pulse, SCL line is 1, SDA goes from 1 to 0. And during the second clock pulse, 1 will get shifted out from the master. Then during the second clock pulse, the 0 will get shifted out. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th clock pulse, all the 7 bits of the slave address will get transmitted in the bus topology. So all the slaves will have received all the 7 bits, and it could have checked with themselves that whether I am being called or not. and they are getting ready to acknowledge. So during the 8th clock pulse, it will understand whether I am going to, the master is going to write into us or read from us. So after understanding that, then it will acknowledge the master by pulling down. You can see the acknowledgement is 0. You can see this 0 means read, write, okay, because it is given as write, because of that is 0. So when the called device is there in the network, the master got an acknowledgement because it is memory, because we are talking about EEPROM, because it is memory, then the memory address is this, which is called as word address, which is 8-bit address. Again, the called device will acknowledge. Then in that address, what data has to be written, because we have written as given as write. So which data need to be written, that 8-bit data will go. Again, the called device will acknowledge, and then we will start the communication. So this is the data frame format for I2C serial communication. To write a single byte into the EEPROM, if the master want to write into the corresponding memory location, 8-bit data in the corresponding memory location means first the master has to identify the device. If the called device is there in the network, during the 9th clock pulse it will acknowledge, and after that, in that memory, which address we are going to write means that memory address we have to send it, 8-bit address we have to send it. After that, receiving that 8-bit address, again the memory will acknowledge. So 8 clock pulse, 8-bit will get shifted out. After receiving all the 8 bits, the slave will acknowledge, okay, after getting the address, that in that address the pointer will be ready. Then we have to send the data which has to be written into that corresponding address. And after receiving all the 8 bits, the slave will acknowledge, and then you can stop the communication. So the slave should also know this format, and the master should also show this format. So this is called as protocol. What do you mean by protocol? Set of rules. So this is the set of rules with respect to I2C protocol to write a byte into the corresponding memory location.